Hello, welcome to the Keys to Your Financial Freedom Summit. I'm your host, Corrina, and today we have an amazing speaker. Her name is Lisa Marie Rosati, and I'm just so pleased that she's here. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So Lisa is a leading intuitive success coach for spiritual women and soulful entrepreneurs. She is the creationist of the Goddess Lifestyle Plan, expert columnist for Aspire magazine, and international best-selling author of 5 books, and the high priestess of the Goddess Lifestyle Sisterhood. Lisa is a mom of 3 and has successfully built a thriving, prosperous global lifestyle business while raising her children. It's Lisa's passion and divine purpose to inspire and teach women how to magically create an abundant, purposeful life and a prosperous business that they love. Also, so amazing and inspiring. I know, what I know of you. You have an inspiring story yourself about how you came into this life, being a mom, wanting more, feeling depleted, knowing that something inside of you was telling you that you could change your path and change the way that things were unfolding for you. What would you like to share with our audience about, how did you get here?
Such a juicy question. It's a big question. We'd be here for 3 days. But let me try to give you a synopsis. Well, for me, I was a magical child.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to me? That means that I was attracted more to animals than people. I preferred to be with animals more than people. I loved gemstones and crystals, and always had a deep fascination and interest in theology, world religion, sacred text, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Always was interested in the esoteric realms and the magical way of living. I saw things magically.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really fit in so much with, especially, I'm going to be 49 actually tomorrow. But the point is, thank you. But back then, we weren't in the spiritual age. There were the hippies, and then there were the rest of the population.
Right.
And I was born a little too late to be a hippie, so to speak. So a child of the 80s, they were like, what are you?
Yeah, you were caught between ages. Yeah, I can totally get that. Yeah.
What are you? So I never really felt like I fit in, but I loved the things I loved. And I was always very good at things like strategy, helping, really being practical. I was an intuitive. However, growing up, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
No, I had a knowing about things.
Yeah.
And that always seemed to help people, come out of an issue or with a struggle. Long story short, I tried on every career possible. So I would keep trying things and I'd be like, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Then I'd go to interior design school because I love beauty in all its forms, always have. And then I was like, no, I don't want to design for other people. Yeah. Then I went to herbalism certification and I love that, but you got to keep that on the down low, because of FDA and everything. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that full time. So yoga certification training, nutrition school.
Oh, isn't it such a common story though?
Right? But it made no sense.
Searching outside of yourself and these are passion and interest, legitimately, but still
always looking for that thing.
Looking for that identity, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I guess around the mid-90s, life coaching became a thing. Right. And I was like, what's this life coaching thing? I give people advice for free all damn day. And that since I was a child, I had this deep need to serve.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure everybody was really open to that, helping, that wasn't really appreciated. There wasn't an exchange of energy. There was a lot of taking the help from Lisa, but no exchange back,
Right.
And that left me feeling always giving.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I felt more comfortable with animals, always, because it was a beautiful, unconditional love back and forth. And, these are all introspective things I thought about as I stepped into who I am today.
Yeah.
And so you know, there was always this giving and not receiving in return. So there was an imbalance of energy, which always made it feel yucky, which then made me feel that I needed to protect myself from the world. So this was like a thing that I had to undo. So I went and I became a life coach, and I loved it. And I decided at one point when my schedule got very, very booked with local life coaching clients that I really wanted to serve in a bigger way. I started to realize that when someone came to me for the advice, the strategy, the coaching, there was an equal exchange. There was me giving that and then receiving. And then I said, you know, something within me, I had like a meltdown during one of my own coaching sessions with my mentor. And I said, I'm not living my truth. My truth is that I believe I'm a goddess and other women are goddesses. And I was keeping that out of what I was doing, except for certain women that I felt would be
comfortable and that connection with.
Yeah. And they loved it and soaked it in. And I said, this is not really who I am. It's sort of who I am, but it's not fully who I am. And I suppose with all the work I was doing on myself and my inner game, I was ready, although scared crap. I was scared crapless, really. I was scared, but I was ready to say, you know what, I have to be who I am. And I launched into the internet, and that's how, that was the interesting thing. All of these certifications and trainings and things I did all came together under Goddess Lifestyle Plan. It finally all made sense. So the point was, the divine knew all along, you know, and I didn't know.
You didn't know.
But I just followed my bliss. That's what I did. And the divine put it all together for me. Finally.
Yes, and I get that, you know, because it's like, I mean, each step of the way was an evolution for you, right? It's like, and also where you felt comfortable enough and safe enough to express that aspect of yourself. And then finally it came to a head, which was like, okay, Lisa.
The meltdown,
right? So, you know, the breakdown and the breakthrough. And I can imagine that was scary at that time because, you know, and this is something I'd love to get into because I know there are a lot of women, you know, today that are still kind of, you know, veiling and hiding that really feminine expression in like a big way. You know, there's like the acceptable way. And then there's what you're talking about, which is, you know, the feminine, I call it feminine power, right? You know, inside that is this wisdom. It's so rich. It's so deep. You know, it's all of what you're saying, you know, the magic, the intuitive knowing, and, you know, really calling it as it is, which is goddess. Huge. So, you know, I mean, so one of the purposes of this summit is, you know, to help women and, you know, men too, you know, because we know that feminine is inside them as well. You know, how do women break out of that fear to express that inner sacred feminine, that feminine wisdom?
I don't believe there's any right way or one way to step into your powerful feminine. However, I will tell you that it's going to be really scary because it's the unknown, and we are wired to seek other people's approval, especially if we feel like we're part of a tribe, a workplace, or our family or whatever. And women are wired to desire security. So when we step out courageously outside the box, so to speak, and we start to own our magic, our feminine power, that makes other people uncomfortable. But here's the thing: in every woman's life, I believe that the need to stay small is more painful than the fear. And what I know for sure is whatever it is, you need to walk into it, not around it. You can't. I spent my entire young adult life, all the way up till the time I was 40, trying to avoid it. I would go around through the back door, underneath, this way, that way. The only way is through it, right into your fear. Your biggest fear is that people will judge you or not love you if you're really who you are. That's the crux of the fear. I will lose the approval of the people I love,
Right.
if I really am who I am.
Right.
And sadly, there's no magic wands for that. You just have to say, I love you. This is who I am. And here's the thing, you know, it's not about all of a sudden, you know, putting on a pointy witch hat and you know, like sit down at the family dinner table. It's not about that. It's about really just starting to align with really who you are. Allow your dressing and your hair and the jewelry you wear to start really authentically representing who you are.
Yeah.
And to stop shrinking who you are to make others more comfortable or perhaps to keep them happy with you. That's codependence.
Yeah.
And we all have a certain amount of codependency that needs to be healed. So the first step for me in really stepping out authentically is discovering who you really are.
Right.
Who are you? I know for me, people would say, well, who's Lisa? I'm like, well, I'm a mama.
Right.
I have 3 children.
Right.
I'm a wife.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an identity past the hats I wore in life.
Yeah.
So
how did that, when you had that breakdown and then this like pop awareness, I am a goddess and that's what I want to help women to birth inside of themselves, the goddess self. How, you know, what was the, you know, action that you took? I mean, because you got on the internet, you talked about that, but I can imagine the fear because you had a business, which meant then you were going to, you know, shift client bases.
Yeah. And that's the truth. I remember getting real still and saying, if I go out there on the World Wide Web and say, I'm a goddess and I believe you are too, I was afraid I'd be laughed off planet Earth.
Right.
I really thought that. I was like, I am going to be laughed right off planet Earth.
Yeah.
And I just said, all right, this is painful not saying it. So let's just jump. Let's just take that leap of faith. Because here's the thing. I am a Virgo, so everything is very practical for me. Being a lifelong study of theology, what I know for sure is that every sacred text says that we are the sons and daughters of the divine, right?
Right.
So if we're sons and daughters of the divine, that by definition makes me a little goddess and you a little goddess and my husband a little god. Right. We hold the divine within us.
Yes.
So therefore, I started realizing like this is divine truth.
Yeah.
We are divine by our very nature because we hold the divine within us. We are a product or a prodigy of the God and the goddess.
Right.
So I kind of took that angle, being practical. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to try that.
Right. You were able to logically convince your mind that, you know, this actually is rational.
It's rational. It's rational. And you know what? I just don't understand, being that I've always had this out-of-the-box thinking around spirituality, I didn't really understand how the feminine aspect of divinity could be minimized or even extinguished.
Yeah.
How could we need yin yang,
absolutely,
male female,
right,
hard soft,
right,
you know, action flow. I don't understand. To me, that makes sense. So I just said, it's time. It's time. There was an inner calling too. I had to do it. I was
going to say, because you popped, you know, into that at a time when, you know, it was the evolutionary edge of it, right? So you really pioneered it, which is why it was really scary, because you didn't have a tribe around you saying, yes, like, you know, the goddess, right? I mean, you became it.
Yeah.
You led the way. And now, you know, there's, you have a community of goddesses, you know, that, you know, embodying that, and it's more acceptable, right? So, and that's, you know, maybe just to say to our listeners, you know, that's one of the things, like what you're saying, when there's a divine calling in you, there is actually a design to that, right? It's no mistake.
No.
And while we may not know what it's going to mean, like you now can see how all the gifts and the tools you acquired along the way added up to where you are today and added up to the goddess lifestyle. You know, that if there's something speaking to you, that there is actually a design, there is a plan.
That's right.
And then probably 5 years from now, or maybe only a year from now, it's all going to make sense, and it won't. It actually, you may find yourself being the leader of that new, that new cause on the planet.
That's right. That's
because
right.
You followed it, and you chose to follow it, and I find that there is, while it's scary, there's something about, and let's get into this, because this is the reciprocity, right? There is a reward, I'll call it, when we step in to who we really are and we follow the call. So what happened for you when you really did that? What happened?
Well, first let me say, I want to comment on something you mentioned.
Yes.
Desire, your desire, your calling,
your
wants, your need to do something, that's actually put inside you by the divine.
Yeah.
All right. So pretending and squashing it down and everything is just basically not taking the phone call from the divine.
Exactly.
All right. It's scary as hell. I'm going to tell you it is.
Yeah.
But here's what I have to say to that.
Mm-hmm.
The reciprocity is the woman or the person you become in the process of stepping into your power is the reward.
Mm-hmm.
Because very little really scares me to the point where I won't take action. I have to say nothing scares me to the point where I won't take action anymore, because I know in that taking action, the magic and the miracles happen.
Exactly.
I know it right here.
Right.
And I know it right here. Right. Scared, yes. But do I
do it anyway?
I do it anyway. And here's the thing, I don't deny fear. Sometimes I'm like, holy crap, this is scary. And then I just jump.
Yeah.
The net appears. Whatever it is. And here's the greatest thing about, I'll speak to women because I work primarily with women. Mm-hmm. We are pure magic in action, because women are the nurturers. Women are the creative force. And I know that when women really step into their power and start sharing their gifts with the world, the wealth of the world is going to get put into the hands of the feminine. And I'm just going to say something controversial. We make better choices. We do.
Yeah.
We just do.
Yeah. Well, I actually believe that's that yin and yang, right? Is that, in fact, things have been distorted, and that we are actually in a moment where it's the wealth is being, which really, like you're saying, the behind the wealth is the creation, which is the magic and the miracles. It's being transitioned over to women as the primary holders and creators of, because that actually is our role. I think that is our role. We are the first to birth life. And then, I love, I've read many things, and there's a, about that, what is the feminine role and what's the male role? It doesn't, the male role is shifting, in that the male role is actually to honor and respect and support that feminine creation force moving through.
That's right.
Right?
And let me tell you, I love the sacred masculine. However, I believe that the wealth of the world has been in the hands of the masculine. And this is just nature's way of coming back to balance. Women are being called. There's a calling within women like never before. There's a calling within women that is saying something like, I can have it all.
Yes.
I can serve the world, raise a family, and have a gorgeous relationship with my soulmate. I can have it all.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go for it. More and more women. As more and more women do it, more and more women have the courage to also do it.
Right. And this is part of the feminine piece, is that then we support each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because that's the feminine nature, which, again, I think you're so right. And I love that you're saying this, because it's a part of writing a natural, an unbalanced.
It's nature. Everything comes back into balance. And let's just face it, for the last few centuries, it's been the masculine holding all the power and holding all the money and making all the decisions. And we have Mama Earth. Right. Our Earth is, I'm very passionate about our Earth, about recycling, reusing, about taking care of our animals and our creatures and everything else. This is, I feel, as a woman, an awakened woman, Right. It is, I need to be a steward, and I need to be a steward for the goddess and Mama Earth, you know, Gaia. Right. So this is all part of what I teach. It's my passion, and it's how I view the world, and I just couldn't keep quiet anymore.
You don't need to. I think it's so important that we do, because you know, going back to that, the divine is telling us this, right? It's saying, women, we need you to take responsibility for this.
That's right.
We need you to steward this. And so that's, you know, what I'm witnessing in my life as well, as a mom of two and birthing a business, is the same. It's like there's huge support for this right now.
Yes.
The divine is like giving it to women, saying, you know, there is actually a huge divine plan right now at work for planet Earth, because we're in a crisis, and the women can solve the crisis.
Yes, I believe together we can.
Yeah,
I truly believe that, and that's why. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
you know, there's an old. I guess it's a parable.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really the straight A student, but I think it's a parable where there's a man and his grandson walking down the beach, and there's thousands of starfish that have come up on shore, and the grandfather takes one and throws it in.
Yeah.
And to the ocean again, and the little boy turns around and says, "Grandpa, what difference is that going to make? Look at all these starfish." And the grandfather says something, and I paraphrase, you know, "I made a difference to that one."
Right.
And when we share our gifts, no, I might not, you know, change the entire planet. I might not, but I was willing to help as many women as I could, because in that woman's life, my work and my presence made a difference.
That's it. That's it. We're all called, however, big, small. I mean, that's our judgment anyway, if we're looking at it as, you know, small. Because
right.
The ripples are huge.
Ripples are huge. Yeah. I mean, I really feel like I'm of service. And I also feel like my life has tremendous meaning because of it. It's not all about me. It's about serving my clients, serving my community, making the world a better place in some way, shape, or form. If I just kept my gifts to myself and I stayed quiet about how I really felt about things, you know,
right,
I wouldn't be doing my part.
That's right. That's right. And it's scary at first, you know, to speak up and say these things, but like, I get it. I mean, once you do it a few times, you build the muscle.
It's true. And also, you don't start off like radical. You start off just dipping the toe, and then you know, not like I said, don't show up to dinner with a witch hat on.
Right.
Like it's like just do your thing.
Right.
And that's what I tell my clients all the time. My sisterhood, my clients, my community.
Yeah.
Be the magic.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk.
You don't.
Just be it. Live it.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is what I've noticed, you know, interesting. I at the end of my street, there's this, you know, little convenience store. And I, for the first year living here, I never even stepped in. And I did like sometime this summer, I popped in there and grabbed something. And this is just an example of, you know, I walk in and the guy, the owner of the store, he just looks at me and he says, you know, he starts asking me questions, you know, who are you? What do you do? Like, it was odd. And I said, okay, you know, we had a nice conversation, but he just kept saying, you're just different. You're just different. I've never met anyone like you. I mean, I didn't even say anything. And so that's what you're saying, is like, when you embody it, people feel it, they notice it, they wonder.
Your finger on it, but it's
exactly.
It's intriguing.
It's intriguing, and that becomes highly attractive, right?
Very, very, absolutely.
And
yeah, I agree completely. I will tell you that I'm 5 foot tall, so I'm not a supermodel. And
me too. I'm 5 foot tall.
When I walk in a room, everybody's like, "Let's talk to Lisa," you know, because there's an authenticity and there is a comfort in being who I am. Again, 5 years ago, I was just starting my journey. Right. You know, 6 years ago. So it all happens in divine timing. Right. You just start by dipping your toe. And for most women, that looks like just discovering who you are. Right. What do you like? What don't you like? Who are you when you take off your hats, when you're not the mama and you're not, who are you as a woman?
Yes.
And what do you like to do? What's a deal breaker for you? Right. Most of us don't think about that because we're so busy thinking about everybody else's needs and wants and everything else. We put ours on the shelf. Well, no, it's time to dust off that stuff for yourself. And You know, start to discover who you are.
Yeah.
And that is the first step for me always, discovering who you really are. What's a deal breaker? What's a deal maker? What do you like doing? What do you hate doing?
Right.
What do you say yes to that you really should be saying no to in your life? What do you say no to that you really should be saying yes to in your life?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, and as you have pointed out, often, you know, the answers of what we gravitate to are there when we were a child. You know, we can go back and see, you know, what were those organic instincts, you know, in us. And for some women, you need to just go back there and just remember what were the things that you just gravitated to, and the clues are there.
I think so. When we're younger, we're not given the tools as children to really be able to discern those sort of things. It's like survival when you're a kid, you know, you're trying to just fit in and get through and learn curriculum maybe you're not interested in learning. For me, that was the case. I mean, my God, I was like, oh, school. You know, I couldn't care less where Romania is located on the globe. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I never wanted to learn, you know, algebra. I didn't care. But give me earth science, give me the stuff I loved. I sucked it in. You know, I'm a sponge for what I love.
Yeah, yeah, there it is. Well, so listen, you know, I mean, this summit, you know, one of the things that people are really, you know, desiring in why they're here, why they're listening to this interview is this financial freedom piece. And, you know, I believe we're moving into a different kind of financial freedom, a different kind of money exchange that I call a love currency. And, you know, I think the feminine has a lot to do with it. You know, how have you been seeing this change, this shift in what money is from that masculine, you know, way of being with money to a feminine way?
Amazing question. Well, what's coming to me right away is that the masculine way of money is time for dollars. Time for dollars.
Yeah.
And also doing whatever you have to do because it pays well.
Yeah.
What I see happening and what I specialize in is helping women take their gifts, skills, and talents and roll it into something I call a personal brand and lifestyle business. Yeah. That to me is where feminine power and ease meet. Yep. Because every day, and listen, some days are, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, I got a lot on my plate today. But I have to say 99% of the time, I am joyfully serving my clients, joyfully doing my work, and being, you know, paid very nicely for it. So it's shifting. What about, you know, and that's the thing. A lot of women will say, well, I don't, who's going to pay me for this? Right. You know, here's the most amazing thing that I know. And this is a gold wisdom nugget.
Yeah.
What comes really simple and easy to you and what you totally disregard is probably your magic.
Absolutely.
Because that's why it comes so easy to you. It doesn't come easy to everybody else.
Right.
So if you share just that, you would absolutely be doing something that feels good in alignment, something super simple for you. Yeah. But most of the time women go, it comes so simple to me. Who's going to pay me for that?
Right.
That's the exact thing that people will pay for. Because it's your brilliance. It's your gift. Yeah. So, you know, I help women really discern, like, how can I roll this into a lifestyle brand so I can vacation when I want?
Right.
Raise my kids, be a present mom. See, I'm able to do whenever I make my schedule.
Right.
And that is, I think, how things are shifting for women now.
Yes. Yes. And isn't that, I love that distinction you're making, you know, the masculine time for money. And that perhaps, you know, I think that's one of the big mindset shifts that we go through is, you know, this, because it's so ingrained from like school age on, and you know, we inherited
get a job.
Yeah, get a job. And we inherited this form of work and money, you know, pay by the hour, you know, 9 to 5, 40 plus hours, you know, and that you have to earn your money that way.
That's right.
Right. And the feminine way is different in that it can flow. It's easy. It comes out of the natural abilities you have. And it's not time for money. It's more, I think it's creation, right?
Creation. Actually, my clients invest in a transformation.
Exactly. Right.
That's what they're investing in. They're investing in their own transformation. I just facilitate it. I create the container.
Yeah. And that's it. That the feminine is creation, process, transformation, alchemy.
Create the container.
Right.
Where the transformation can occur.
Right. And you know, that could happen. It could happen really quick. Right. So, you know, if someone's really ripe for it. I mean, I know, you know, I've had those experiences personally where it's just like 1 minute you
transformation can happen in an instant. It can happen in 1 second. It's a decision. All right. Let's just put that out there. But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. When we have that transformation and the decision, then we go back to the people, our circle of influence in our life that can drag us down and blow us off course. So there is integration process that needs to happen.
Right.
But yes, I believe transformation is instantaneous.
Right. I am only pointing it out because I think, again, there's that mindset shift of going from the linear process, which is very masculine, can feel like a struggle and striving, right? Whereas if you commit and make the decision to connect into your divine calling and your authentic self, then the magic and miracles happen, and then there's instantaneous work. And then, of course, like you said, there's integration.
Listen, we change and we transform on a spectrum. Right. And it's all about integrating into the way we are being in the world. Listen, and that's the thing.
Right.
I make decisions, but then actually applying the decision, that could get a little wonky. But the thing is, you know, and for everybody too, but that's why, you know, for example, I have a sisterhood group. That's why for women who can't invest with me to work privately, they jump into the sisterhood. It's a group program, but it's a life transformation program. Yeah. And we circle with the moon. And so they get in touch with the feminine. The feminine and the moon is one and the same. The moon is the feminine aspect of, you know, the sun is the masculine. So we circle with the moon. We follow the seasons. Your entire life's transformation system is built into following the seasons. It's amazing. It's a personal growth system. Perfect.
That's it. And there it is, connecting into Mother Earth, connecting into the divine. That's all the cycles. And then, you know, just imagine, because this gets goosebumps all over me. Imagine now our money system following that process, this organic life process.
That's right. That's right. When we actually become more of who we are and we start to claim our gifts, and we have the courage to bring them forward in the world, the abundance shows up, not only in who you become in the process, but the faucet of abundance, prosperity starts to open up because you're in alignment.
Right.
And that's universal law.
Exactly. That's what I love to tell people. Like, this is a guarantee.
It's a guarantee. Whenever I am feeling money struggle, which is rare and becoming more and more rare as I continue to align and become congruent, I always say, what am I resisting? Where am I out of alignment here? Because I know when I'm in alignment, life is smooth. My relationships are happy. I am not riddled with fear, doubt, and worry. There's no guilt. There is an absolute flow of abundance in all areas, prosperity to good feelings to everything. So the second something feels a little like a struggle in any area of my life, I look in the mirror, I say, Lisa, where are you out of alignment here? Because I know if I could just click, just
tweak that part, pop it open.
It's universal law. It has to happen.
Yeah. This is brilliant. Well, I know you have a really wonderful free gift for our audience that now that we've had this great conversation, I know this gift is going to help women to actually step into what we're talking about.
That's right. Well, for me, whether it's birthing your business or creating your abundant goddess life, whatever that looks like for you, it all starts with knowing who you are. Yeah. So I have something called a magical goddess swag bag. And the reason why it's a bundle. I do business the way I do life, and I'm a cocktail girl lover. Like when we go to the wedding, I love the cocktail hour. I'm like, give me a little bit of everything. So when I was trying to think, what do I want to give as my free gift? I was like, I couldn't decide. So I decided to give a little smorgasbord. Yeah. There's meditation, there's a few, workbooks, and then there's the How to Design Your Goddess Life Planner. And what we talked about today, it walks you step by step on how to discover who you are when you take off all the different roles, hats you wear, and the roles you play in life, and what makes you tick, what makes you happy, and how to start infusing that into your life. I call it a goddess life recipe, because every woman's goddess life recipe has different ingredients in different amounts. We're so unique. So this particular workbook will help you see who you are, so that you could start really feeling much more happiness in all the areas of your life. And then at that point, you can step forward into sharing your gifts, if that's what you desire.
Exactly. It sounds so fun too. To me, it's like go in and just imagine and create and connect with yourself. And, draw a warm bath with candles and rose petals and prayer, and, start dreaming and imagining and reconnecting to yourself.
The sacred feminine lies within each woman. And, she speaks to all of us in those moments of taking having a sacred ritual of a bath with crystals and herbs and flowers and essential oils and all that, bath salts. That's when it happens, when we get quiet. So taking that time, I believe, is essential.
Yeah. So Lisa, how can people work with you, get connected to you? Where can we find you?
Sure. Well, my online presence is goddesslifestyleplan.com. Once you get there, there'll be all different little things you can do. You can do some reading. You can look at my different offerings, like the Sisterhood, my virtual offering, the group program. There's also Ignite Your Business Magic, which is my business coaching program. Starts with year 1, that's conception, all the way to an online presence. And then year 2 and year 3, which is Accelerate Your Business Magic, is year 2, and then Business Mastery is year 3. So there's something for everybody. There's free offerings, there's blog posts and recordings of calls. I mean, there's a lot there for you that will get you started.
Well, I really encourage everyone to check out her website. Lisa's got videos, a radio show, and then also the blogs. I was just reading that right before our interview, and there's all sorts of great free advice and suggestions in there. But even just connecting in, I mean, you are the embodiment of the goddess, and so what I know to be true is that when you are seeking something like that in your life, when you follow and connect with someone who is just a little further along, that's further along on that path, that's how you move into that vibration yourself. So, just getting on your website is going to help you folks, it'll help you women to understand more, what Lisa and I are talking about here, this feminine wisdom, the juicy, sensual goddessness of yourself. So, it's a joy to just peruse your website. You can feel that essence coming through.
Thank you. Well, I do love it. It's my passion. It's my love. It's actually, I consider it my 4th child. I guess it's my 4th child. And my youngest child, actually, because mine are grown now. But, I love it so much. And I just want my work to be of service to as many women on the globe as possible.
And that you are. So I thank you so much, Lisa. This was a real joy and very inspiring for me. And so thank you so much for our interview today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everyone. And to our listeners, we'll have another really wonderful, inspiring interview coming up soon on the keys to your financial freedom.